Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of the Devil May Cry collab. Now I just want to say something first before we start this. I still have a cold right now, so I may not be the best for this stream. I did plan a few more videos. Well, I personally enjoyed doing those short videos. I thought they were pretty good because I just felt like they were more useful. I just personally like having to watch a smaller video. You get the information you need, and you're pretty much done. That's the type of videos I've been doing with those short videos. I did plan to do another video with a build for V farming really fast on Imperial Guard Commander 3, but I haven't got around to that yet just because I haven't felt like it over the past few days. I haven't been feeling great over the past few days, but still wanted to do this stream, so we're going to still doing this anyway, so let's continue. Let's go have a look at the new Young Knight Nero, as well as the new arc. Now, I'm personally not too excited about this unit, or the arc, really, but we're still going to try for him a little bit, and the arc too, a bit later on, but I don't know how I feel about him yet. We'll talk about that a bit later, but let's first go over all of his skills and everything. So, he does look pretty cool. Fun fact, Devil May Cry 4 I think came out in 2008, and Devil May Cry 5 came out in 2019. There's about 11-year gap in between those two games. So this Nero is a version from a really old game, came out in 2008, so it makes sense that the graphics aren't going to be as good. Well, in terms of you saw the intro video of him, because it looks like really old game. So stats, pretty basic really, minus 32 ice because he's going to be a fire DPS unit, which I've been wanting a fire DPS unit for a little while. I know we've had Roy for an incredibly long time, but I don't want a Roy, I'm just saying I want someone that has good fire DPS for killing bosses and stuff like that. Now, I'm not sure if Nero's going to be that type of unit. I don't see it yet, but maybe we'll see. So his skills, I don't know how I feel about his skills. His skill 1 is incredibly good. It's a close the gap skill. It's 8 hits. And that's single wield 2, so if you put dual wield is 16, so I think his skill 1's pretty good. If you put on a bunch of skill stocks on a skill 1, start spamming a skill 1 really fast, I think that's going to be pretty good for killing things really fast, like waves for example, and potentially an arena, but I don't know, it's probably not the best. There's other options, like you could just have a really wide area attack instead, kill everything in one hit. But anyways, skill 2 is, it's kind of like a Virgil skill 3. How's it going? Hopefully more people show up later, but I'm not worried about it. Still not feeling the best right now. Skill 2 is kind of like Virgil's skill 3, I think. Basically hit them, launch them up in the air and slam down. There's a bit of delay in between though, so I think so far it looks like his skill 1 is the best DPS. Now here's the problem with his skills. His skill 3 is just kind of bad. Now, his skill 3 is pretty cool, because I remember before Shift Nero was even released with his skills, I looked up a video showing a bunch of skills from this Nero in the actual Devil May Cry 4 game, and I did see this as one of these skills that was in the game. Now, it looked pretty cool, but I just thought to myself, I really hope it isn't that skill, because it seems like it's going to be pretty slow, and it is. So, I think his skill 3 is just too slow. I don't like it at all, it's just bad. Well, his paid accessory, I haven't properly looked at that yet, so we'll be going over that once we get to it. I don't think that's going to be too long from now, but we'll see once we get to it, because I like to talk about things in segments instead of talking about anything random, you know. So his special to one enemy, I think his special's decent. It's not the best because it only gets one enemy, it's nothing crazy, I think. I think the main thing to note about his skills is just a skill 1. I think it's really good. But skill 2 is okay, skill 3 is bad, and I think that's all we got to really know about those skills. Yeah, I started 5 minutes ago. Hopefully the summons go well, but I don't know what my plan is for summons. My original plan is to just do a few. I don't plan to do many because I don't really care too much about this unit. Even though I would like 5 DPS, it's just the, you know, the main thing about this Nero unit is his skill 1, I believe, and I just don't see it, really. At least not yet. So traits... Now, here's the thing. I just want to explain something. This trait 1 is... I don't know how to think about this either. I can invest a lot into him because I have a lot available. It's just, you know, even if I invest a lot, is he still going to be one of the best DPS units? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. His trait 1 is a bit strange. I don't know if I like it. Randomly boost skill damage 1% to 100%. Damage cap 1 to 20,000. Now here's the problem. Is if you get incredibly unlucky, you could get +1 damage cap. Now this is just a joke. It's a complete joke. It may happen at least once, but I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna happen that often. But the chance of getting +1 damage cap is just incredibly funny to me. Boost lower limit based on combo hit count, maximum damage 50% and damage cap plus 10,000 at 100 hits or more. Basically what that means is if you're at 100 hits, then the minimum it can be is plus 50 damage and 10,000 damage cap. So that would make it in between 10,000 damage cap and 20,000. And the damage would be between 50% and 100%. It's interesting, but I don't like it because it adds randomness to his DPS, which you don't want for a burst DPS unit, right? So that's kind of why I don't really like this that much, because if you get unlucky, he's not going to do as well as you want him to. And even though you're seeing incredibly high numbers, that doesn't mean anything, because you've got to remember, you've got to try and work out the average of the damage that you're doing, because you could get a really high damage cap hit, but you could also get a really low damage cap hit, and, you know, I personally feel like the best way to think about this is to kind of look at the maximum and the minimum that you can get and just go in between them, and that would be kind of your average DPS. That's what I've been doing. So when Devil Trigger buff is active, then it doubles the effect. So it basically makes it a maximum of 40,000, I believe, on here, maybe, or at least. No, I think it just means doubles the effect of the lower limit, right? Well, in any case, that's pretty good. But again, it's still random, right? You gotta remember. We will at least try him out even if we don't get him later on, because I can still use him in the event stage. So, his trait 2 is okay. Special damage cap, 15,000. After special, boost HP cap and restore HP. We've seen that before, or at least somewhere, but don't really care too much about HP, really, when using a special. Like, this is kind of a little thing, right? Yeah, that's basically what I would do. But the problem is, it's hard to ignore a straight 1 because that's his main damage. The other skills only add like a maximum of 8,000 damage cap. So his trait 1 is basically his main DPS, or his main way to get damage cap. So it's kind of unfortunate. And give Devil Trigger buff when you use your special, which is the main thing that this unit's going to be about. It's kind of similar to Virgil in the terms of Devil Trigger buff. Use it, use your special, you get that buff, which is interesting. I kind of like it, it's a bit fun, but at the same time it's a bit, you know, unfortunate that you have to do some setup for them to be good, because I don't know about you, but when you can just use a unit and instantly just use a honey elixir and spam their skills straight away, it's just so much easier and also faster. Because if you're using that time to build up your special, things like that, because you've got to use MP to use your Devil Trigger to get your special, and then you've also got to have a honey elixir or something available just so you have your skills. If you're only running him by himself, then it's a bit of a problem because it's a bit slower than other units would be when they could just use a honey elixir and they just start killing things straight away. So, Devil Trigger buff active, physical and magical damage taken minus 30%. It's whatever really. It's okay. Basically just giving him more survivability when he uses a special, when he's in Devil Trigger mode, whatever you want to call it. When using a skill can't be interrupted by most attacks. And give Devil Trigger buff up to once per wave. So I thought about this earlier today, and I thought of a problem, and that problem is that this can only be used once per wave. And I realized that places like the maze that has bosses with like 14 mil HP, you're not going to be able to kill them before the Devil Trigger buff wears off. So the problem with that being is once he doesn't have a Devil Trigger buff active, his damage is incredibly low compared to another unit like Levi or Melee or someone like that. I just like those two units, but anyone like that, you know, that has consistent DPS, or like a Shift Balance, for example, they're going to do more damage overall if you're in a long battle. But I think Nero, it's probably similar to Virgil 2, it's only really going to be good if you can manage to kill anything in that 40 seconds. Now, I know you could probably increase the buff, but I would probably prefer to have as much SCT as possible. So like Council 10 could be good on Nero, because you could just use Honey Elixir. Well, actually you use Council 10 skill first, you get all your skill stocks, and you also use the Devil Trigger buff. I would then get MP back or something, so I have MP for another Honey Elixir. I can spam all my skill 1s and skill 2s, and then use the Honey Elixir and spam even more skills. I think that's pretty good. But again, I don't think that can kill 40 mil HP fast enough. I'm saying 40 mil HP because we've seen that before, and the HP that enemies have in the maze is just way too much. So if you can't kill things in 40 seconds, then it's going to start wearing off. It's not going to do as well after that, after the buff worn out. So it's similar to Virgil, I know, but Virgil has access to 2 buffs, so he has technically 40 seconds plus another 30 seconds because he's got 2 different buffs that he can use in one wave. So I just personally prefer Virgil at this point. They're interesting traits, but I don't know how to think about them yet. Maybe we can try them out later if we get the chance. Let's go over the skills. So Demon Form is the Devil Trigger buff. So this is basically the same thing as what Virgil had with his Doppelganger buff, but this is for... It's basically use this instead of having to use a special. So that's pretty good. And this can also only be triggered once per wave, so you can't have Devil Trigger active more than once per wave, which is unfortunate. If you could get it twice per wave or something like that, it would be not bad actually, but it's okay. Now the skills: HP up max, Fighting Spirit 5, Heroism up 2, Quiver up 2, Aim Vitals, Royal Armor, Decide is a new one, Physical Attacks and Special, an Anti-God type effect, which is pretty good, and Anti-type effect damage plus 2000, so any Slayer damage that do, gonna get more damage cap, which is pretty good. So he's got a God Slayer, we got a... I'm gonna try and take note of what Slayers he had. He has God Slayer, and then all of these Slayers: Beast, Plant, Insect, Bird, Fish, and Creature. That's pretty good. And he's also got Soldier Mastery, so anti-sniper effect. So you've got some decent Slayers here, not gonna lie. Now, Virgil didn't have any Slayers, and when I was testing him out, I realized that the Vase UR arc that you get from the story is pretty damn good on him. It increases his damage by a lot, it seems, that plus 40% damage is good. Now when I was trying it with, when I was trying Virgil with the Eldravana arc, for the plus 6000 damage cap, I was doing less damage because my damage was too low, even with all the damage skills I had on him, and I refused to put on Berserker because I didn't want to lose HP all the time. So yeah, that's just a thing to note, is because he doesn't have Slayers, it kind of is a bit lower damage. God Blade, also physical damage against undead, spirits, and gods. So this isn't a Slayer, but that's interesting really, because you get this 30% damage against gods, and he's also got God Slayer. So he's going to be pretty good against gods, I would think. And he's also got special boost, so that's pretty good. He's going to be doing some pretty good damage. Water Brave, Life Fort, whatever, Water Protection, Patience 2. Now Awaken 2, I was interested in this skill because I personally like using Awaken so much in Arena. You could probably stack Awaken 1 with Awaken 2 on this unit. That would be pretty good. I don't know how good it would be for Arena, but it just sounds good in my head. Because imagine if those buffs from Awaken 1 and 2 could both be active at the same time. That would be pretty good. But I hope they make Awaken 2 more available on units in the future. I'm sure they will. It's just the first time we're seeing it. Now, Fire High Drive is nice. I do like drive skills. Mega Drive is 2000 more damage cap. So far, we've seen 2000 from Slayer damage, and then 2000 from here. Then you've also got Fire Attack Rate 3, so that's 6000. I believe there's 2000 more somewhere, I think. Fire Enhance is okay. I don't really care too much about the enhanced skills, they just seem like a bit expensive, and it's only 10%. Kind of like a Fire Attack Raise, but with a little bonus on it. Pose of Victory, Goddess Kiss is nice to have, because I like this. I like Goddess Kiss. If you see one of my short videos, you'll see how good I like it. It's pretty good. Side Roll, boost movement speed. I love movement speed. When taking long range physical attacks, chance to nullify damage taken. That's only really going to be good in Arena. Nowhere else really. Piercing is good. Dual wield, great, because he's a dual wield unit. Sword boost and mega boost. There's the extra 2000 damage cap, so now he's at plus 8000, which is okay. Now this is just from his skills alone, not including his trait 1. Skill charge 1 makes sense. Sharp Eyes is okay. It's pretty good. Common Master 2. Then Kyrie's Deliverance. The last unique skill. Critical damage taken minus 15% and T-type damage taken minus 15%. Is okay. This is really only going to be good in Arena, so maybe he could be a hybrid DPS / tank, but he doesn't have an armor equipped. If he was a single wield unit, he would be a bit more tanky, kind of like a Shift Roller, but maybe not as tanky as that. But I can see that he has a bit of survivability more than what Virgil had. Virgil's pretty, you know, he's pretty soft. He doesn't really survive very much, but he does a lot of damage, so kind of a glass cannon type unit, which those are pretty fun. So I think his skills don't seem that bad, right? One of these skills here don't seem that bad, they seem pretty good. I'm not complaining about any of this stuff. There's some good stuff here. You get plus 8000 damage cap from these skills, and then this trait, just for a laugh, I'm going to say you get at least plus 1 damage cap. So now you have plus 8001 damage cap. Hooray for that 1 damage cap that we got. This is the best damage cap we've ever seen. Anyways, enough jokes about that. If you ignore that, and you just read the part here that says boost lower limit based on combo hit count, as long as you're at 100 hits or more, then you don't have to worry about it too much, because then you're going to at least have a plus 10,000 damage cap. So if you think about it that way, then if I just do some maths, not meth, if I add it, the base damage cap, you add the 10,000, and then you add the extra 8,000 when you're hitting Slayers and stuff, then you're at 28,000. So you're going to at least hit 28,000 damage cap when you don't have a Devil Trigger buff active. And at maximum, that can be 37,000, but that isn't impressive because we've seen that before. We've seen units hit, for example, Virgil, my Virgil anyway, hits about 47,000-ish with his paid sword, I know, and a UR arc, yeah, maybe, but with most of his base skills and everything. So 37,000 at random, it's not going to be all the time, it's just a bit, you know, underwhelming, because if you work out the average, it turns out not to be that much. But Devil Trigger buff active, it doubles the effect. Now, I watched a bit of Buddha's stream and I saw some of the hits there, right? There were about 50 to 60k some hits, but some hits are also between around 30k-ish, so it's okay. It's not bad, it's just when you keep getting hits around the 30k range, it's not impressive, because we've seen higher damage cap, and Virgil's going to be even faster. I think he's going to be a faster burst unit than Nero, so I think the only reason to really use Nero for DPS really is if you're needing a unit that can kill enemies that are weak to fire, and we don't have many fire DPS units right now, so that's one reason. But if you're looking for the fastest DPS, then Nero's not going to be the one you're going to go for, because he's a bit random. He's not reliable, really. And I think that's all I'm going to say about his skills for the moment. We're going to come back to him later once we get to it, but I don't want to take too long. So let's go over the art now. Devil May Cry 5. This is the artwork for the home screen picture when you open up the Devil May Cry 5 game, because I know that, because I played it. Trait, for 7 seconds after using a skill, give a skill damage plus 40% buff, one time, excluding previously used skills. It's weird, it's good, because it's 40% is the highest we've seen on a trait. We've seen it before, like on Game Master, we've seen plus 40% with Fish, as the best one we've got. But for 7 seconds after using a skill, you get the skill damage 40% buff. This is only one time, so after you use the skill and it's been 7 seconds, it's going to do nothing at all for the rest of the whole game that you're playing. So well, it's a little bit confusing with wording, like always. So let's say you're using a skill 1, it's going to apply a buff that increases your skill 1 damage, right? For 7 seconds. But I just don't like it because it's only one time, and it's only 7 seconds. It could potentially be good in Arena, arguably, but I don't see it because Game Master exists, and I'm an end-game player, so I have those fish, so why would I use this? But for a newer player, I can see, yes, it could be useful for a newer player, or players that don't have other things available, because you got that plus 40% damage, which is pretty good, but it's not the best. Again, Icy Guardian exists too. I've been using that on Virgil, it's pretty fun. Damage from beast creatures, undead, and spirit types minus 10%, it's whatever. It's okay. Battlestar, Autocast, Grand Brave, and Grand Fort, which is pretty good too. I'm not too excited about this trait. I probably won't use it because I'm not really that keen on it. The skills: Brave, Sky High, Time to Kick Some, Donkey for free SC. Battlestar, give physical damage plus 20% buff. It's pretty good. I don't understand that thought process though. Like, why would you use a skill just so that skill doesn't get the extra damage but your other skills do? I still don't like it anyway, because it's just 7 seconds. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks that. It's just 7 seconds, so who cares? Unless you're fighting in waves, which could be good, but if you're using one skill to kill the whole wave, then I don't think it applies to that first skill you use. So then it's not going to do anything in that case too, so I won't use it. Yeah, it works. Why do they make things work a bit weird sometimes? Like, they messed up Virgil's wording, which I'll check in a minute. It's just, I understand there's supposed to be a Japanese company and all that, but I just wish could be worded better, but well, they do better now than what they did in the past, I can say that. Anyways, this buff here, I personally like this. I don't think it's going to be a unique buff. If it is, then amazing. If not, not a big deal, because it's still pretty good for free SC. So, I personally like the skill. I could potentially use it in like a Well, not an arena because I use a staff instead from Council of 10. I think that's better. I don't think that would stack with this one. Yeah, I think this... I could see this being useful for multiple situations. Like, 40 seconds is pretty good. And if you're fighting against bosses, I can see that being useful. And especially if you're just running the unit in multiplayer too, I think that's going to be pretty good. But since I run the Council of 10 Archie for Reward in Arena, I don't think I need this for Arena, but for other places I can see this being good. Shadow Armor, Giant Shield, Creature Buster, I don't really care about any of these skills. The only skill I care about is this one really. The free SC I think is good. The Archie for Rewards, can't say much about this other than Arena accessory. Gives you access to another revive. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Either three or four we got, so having another one is always great. I personally like this, just because it gives another revive for Arena, that's the only reason. Getting anything new from a ticket is an accomplishment in itself. I haven't gotten anything from tickets yet. From part 1, 0 rids from part 1 tickets. Part 2 tickets we haven't done yet, we'll get to that soon, trust me. But I don't expect there to be any luck today, we got luck in part 1. I'm not putting anything today, so we'll see how things go, but good accessory, only really for Arena I would say, unless you also need a revive for any hard boss stages and you don't have any revives, then it's good too, but I really like revive accessories, I think they're good, so I like that. Yeah, Virgil's definitely one you should be going for. I highly recommend to pull on part 1 banner, but again it's up to you really, but I'd recommend part 1 because Virgil was the most hype unit as well as the best unit, arguably. So this arc, I like it, but it's not the best and it's a bit underwhelming compared to the Devil May Cry 5 arcs we've seen from the rerun. Those are a lot better. These new arcs we're getting are kind of trash compared to those, because Purple Orb and the other one, pretty good, but these new ones, not anything exciting. They only give one, this one only gives one unique collab skill. Why one? They should give at least 2. We've seen arcs that give so many unique skills. Those are the most valuable ones I would say, because they're unique, they're not going to come back. So I think it's an okay arc. I wouldn't pity it, but if I were to get it I would be happy about it because I see the usability in it, I see the value in it. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to chase anything here, but so far I personally prefer the look of the arc a bit more than Nero, because I just think he looks fun, but where am I going to use him? In what situation would I want to use him apart from Maze? I know you could probably use him against fire weak enemies, right? But we have Roy, which I know is probably not going to be as fast DPS, but we've got Roy, and we've got Virgil, which is non-attribute. We've got Shift Bayland, which is non-attribute. You could always use non-attribute DPS instead. So I personally prefer this arc more around this time, but I still think Nero's going to be pretty good. He's not bad, it's just not as good as I was hoping him to be. Yeah, the maze, I admit I haven't done much in the maze yet. Go away. Haven't done much, go away. Haven't done much in the maze yet. But I don't know when I'll get around to it. I have a lot of stuff I want to do, I need to do, you see. But I don't know when I'm going to get around to it because I just haven't felt like it yet. I still haven't done the new story. I'm slacking. And I haven't fully done the maze. So I'm slacking. And I haven't done all the Godforge stuff. But to me it just feels like grind. Endless. Let's go to the trading space now. Yeah, Anti-Empress is the main thing I was thinking of, but I still use Roy for that. So Yeah, that. uh, also, let me, Roy has the ability to spam his skills, and has a good skill 3, right? I'm not trying to compare the two, I'm just saying that Nero has to have his Devil Trigger, right? So he has to use Devil Trigger, and he also has to get SCT. But Roy can just spam his skills off the bat, and doesn't have to worry about that. I'm just saying that Ant and Prasad prefer using a Roy, but I like new units, so if I were to get a Nero, I would like to use him too, but I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I do have original Nero. Now, I don't know if you're going to hate me for this, but I think this Nero looks better than Shift Nero in terms of how fun it is. Because this Nero is just so fun. I just think this unit's more fun than the Shift Nero. I can't be the only one that thinks that, because his skill 2 is just fine. Skill 3, just fun. Skill 1 launches on the S, okay, it's not that bad. I just prefer this version. If the Shift Nero would have been an improved version of this Nero, I think he would have been incredibly good. But they decided to turn Shift Nero into a Dante, which is unfortunate. Yeah, stun's also very valuable. Now this, when using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. Apparently they messed this up, and there's not supposed to be a full stop here. So that's unfortunate, because he could have had super armor all the time, but he doesn't, because they messed up the wording, which makes sense, because otherwise it probably would have been a bit too strong, but anyways, it's still good. Let's go over to training space. So I want to check all the stuff in here, and I did farm the event too, so we'll look at that as well. But I guess event first, right? This one is the event. There's part 2 tickets here, but the problem is there's no boss right now that you can get these blue materials from in a high capacity. The current stage, you use 2 energy and you get at least 5. You can get 10 with Beast Hunter, but the boss isn't up right now, so I can't farm these really fast right now, which is unfortunate because I would have liked to have more tickets available for the stream, but I have to wait, which is the worst thing. I'm patient, trust me. It's just I like to do things sooner so people could see it, you know. That's probably pretty normal. Yeah, Rainbow DPS, I admit we haven't seen that many of. I would like another one, because I know they're kind of a bit difficult, because you can't focus on one element and make them really strong on that one element, but to have access to multiple elements, which is fun. So I can't trade anything in that event yet. I'm going to be farming more of that once the boss is up. I'm going to get that done. And let's look here, the collab medal 2. Yeah, Trishula exists. I admit I haven't been using Trishula that much recently, because I haven't needed to, but it's always going to be a thing, until they make a Trishula for Magic. When? Please, now, do it. We need it. It'll break the game, I know, it will. We already have Trishula for special skills. Why not Magic? It's the last piece of the puzzle that needs to happen. So, Nero has 2 accessories, which is interesting, because I don't think we see that often, having 2 accessories. So let's check them out. I'll come to my conclusion of which one I prefer after I've seen them. So stats are okay. It's weird having clothes on an accessory. Continuous critical effect is pretty good, but he doesn't really have anything that scales off crits, so it's not a big deal. It gives more access to Proud Force heals, so that's always good to have. Devil Trigger buff active, so when the Devil Trigger buff is active you get more physical damage and 2500 damage cap. This is pretty good. 2,500 damage cap on a dual wield unit is pretty strong. 25% more damage, pretty good too. And you get continuous critical effect, so I think it's pretty good. Now the second one, fire attack damage cap, 1000, continuous haste. Well, it's pretty basic, but it's pretty good too. But which one would I prefer? Well, it's kind of down to you really. I would personally say this one, because you're only really going to need haste if you don't have access to things like honey elixir and glass record or stuff like that. If you do have honey elixir, then you're not really going to need haste that much, and you would probably rather have more damage potential and a continuous critical effect instead. So, and the stats seem a little bit better on this one because it gives a bit of HP personally, so I would probably go for the first one in my opinion. The haste is, I know haste is expensive, but it's still pretty good, and it's fire attack damage all the time, so it applies to the special and everything too, I know, but if you're going for maximum damage potential, this one's going to be the one you want. So I'd personally get this one, and probably not get this one because it just seems a bit basic and it doesn't seem like it's giving that much continuous haste. It's only really useful if you don't have the stuff I'm already mentioned, and 1000 damage cap isn't as much as 2500 if you didn't know that already. I know numbers. Okay, well that's what I think of the paid equivalents. They're nothing crazy, I think, in my opinion, but I know if you have them both on Nero at the same time, they could be pretty good, not gonna lie. But it's not needed, and we have access to other things that could still be better in certain cases, so I think the first one is good. They're both good. I just wouldn't get both unless I was incredibly unlucky, but yeah, I'm not going to get both. At minimum, 0 or 1 of them. Probably 1. But that's just trading space. I think they're decent. Well, here's the thing. It just feels like sometimes they make a unit too good by accident and they can't nerf them. That's what I think. Because we've seen multiple cases where it seems like they've nerfed the unit on purpose before it's released, you know. We've seen what we thought was the case with a few units. Like, Demon Lord Ramirez skill 3 could have been a bit of a wider range than it is right now, but that's just one case. There's been a few cases, but that's just people's theories. We don't know. I think that yes, there is a small chance that a unit in the future could be like Roy, but that is going to be incredibly rare to happen again. Unless, I think the only case that's going to happen is if they make that unit also have one skill stock of their skill 3, or have limitations like only being able to use one of your skill 3 once per wave or something stupid. I'm just coming up with ideas, okay? Don't steal them from me because they're terrible ideas. I'm just saying that they could come up with some stupid requirements that kind of makes it not as good as what it could be, but still decent, you know. But I just think they're worried about things being too strong a lot of the time, because it seems like that's the case. With Virgil, I don't know, maybe they wanted to make a lot of money, so they made Virgil pretty good. I think so. He's not completely broken, but he's pretty good getting double hits as a single wield unit. I think that's pretty, sounds broken. In practice is also pretty good too, but it's not as broken as you think, because he doesn't have any slayers. If he had better skills, he could have been incredibly broken, could be one of the best units, which he still is, but anyways. I think that's everything I have covered over the new stuff. The new unit, the arc, paid equipments, trading space stuff. Let's do the summons next. Now, I'm not going to be doing as many summons as part 1 probably. I'm going to say a maximum of 50, I think, unless people donate and ask me to do more. That's the only reason, which never happens to begin with, so we don't have to worry about that, do we? But I have a few tickets that I can use, which do have rate up. Last time we got 0 reds from tickets, part 1 tickets, so hopefully we get at least 1 red from tickets this time. Yeah, the alchemist trait is kind of what broke the unit, because I think they underestimated how good Goddess Kiss was going to turn into. I don't remember anyone even mentioning Goddess Kiss when it was released. But now, since we have so much damage, Goddess Kiss is just so broken. You saw my Virgil video, he got like between 300 and 800 MP back from a normal attack. It's broken. And putting that on a unit that can just use MP for their skills is just broken to begin with, so yes, it's broken. So I don't see it happening in the future. So let's use, what should we do? Let's do Step Gacha first and then tickets. I'm not going to be pitting anything. I can see maybe using using HP for skills, kind of like a, I don't know, sick person, a vampire. They could do so many things with this game. They already have. It's just, what are they going to do? We don't know. We could come up with so many ideas. So obviously I'm hoping for both things here, but I'm not going to expect anything. I think today's just going to be the day where we get only dupes. If we get something new, it's not guaranteed to be one of the new stuff, because we have 2 permanent SSR arcs we're missing, and this one's probably going to stay gold. As I told you. I wish there were some animations there that could give us some hope, but apparently not. I will be using some free crystals, but I don't know how far I'm willing to go, because I kind of want to not spend much on this game at the moment. So this is the final lap, well, the final step of lap 1. And then we can do the tickets, and then probably a few more 10 pulls and see how things go. And after that, I guess if we don't get Nero, then we can just do the event and stuff. You know, we could still have a look at him, because you can go to the event, but he's not really going to be equipped with anything good. This one's probably going to be a skip. Still no reds, but whatever. Second paint equipment, well, it depends. It really depends. Also, Council 10 as well exists too. So, I mean, if you feel like you need the haste, then it could be better. I'd say don't worry about how much it costs, just worry about the effect that it gives you. How valuable the effect actually is. Haste usually isn't that valuable in my opinion. We've only got 8, which is sad. Actually, never mind, let me go to the event first, we'll get more tickets. I personally don't feel like haste is that amazing, but I don't know what it actually does in terms of the effect itself. I know it speeds up your SET, but also you could do, I know you don't want to do this, nobody wants to do this, but you could put on Spirit Breath. Spirit Breath with God Heal is your Honey Elixir. There you go. Mum, we've got Honey Elixir at home. Honey Elixir at home. Spirit Breath plus God Heal. Yes, I said that. Okay, now we have enough for at least a temple. A lot of stuff. Nero Prism already. Perfect. I did farm that today. Quite a bit. Yeah, well, if I still feel like the first one's a little bit better because it gives 1,500 more damage cap. And if you need to buy one specifically, then I don't recommend it ever. But if you've already got enough credentials and you're choosing one, then it's a different story. Let's use these 3 first and then the temple. Hopefully we can start getting something new. I don't expect it. It's gonna be... I know what's gonna happen. Kind of reminds me of remember the Attack on Titan collab? I still didn't get Mikasa, even though I did so many summons. Skip. No reds. Yet. Good temple time. These do have rate up, so technically it should at least give something, right? I'm hoping secretly, but I'm not expecting it. And Thoria with a blue, a gold. Give me the animations, please. Don't screw me like last time. You trolled me last time, incredibly, but it made up for it with the good luck we had last time. Animations it needs. Talking like Yoda I am. There's a red, but it's only one red, and it's nothing new, because it's another dupe that we've got 9 times at this point. At least we got the first red of the day. It's not going to be the last one though, unless it is. So I know I have a lot of crystals, but I don't really want to spend very much, because I'm not too fussed about part 2. I just don't see very much value right now. I'm going to try and think like that more in the future, because let's do at least one paid crystal temple, and the rest will be free crystals, maybe. And we'll probably move over to the event soon. I can already tell you this stream's not going to be as long as the part 1 stream, just because you're probably not going to get the unit. Yeah, when Honey Elixir came out, I never got it when it came out. I only got it when the rerun existed. Also, when Purple Orb came out, I didn't realise how good it was because I didn't have Honey Elixir at the time. Now after I got Honey Elixir, I realised how good Purple Orb was. That has to be Nero, right?
This may be fun.
This may be fun. This may be fun. That's surprising. I know I've said this many times, but my reactions are non-existent. Thank you. Thanks everyone. There we go. Well, that didn't take that long. But I guess we can do the showcase. The game wants us to do the showcase, which is good. Very good. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I used to get excited about things, right? But I think I've just been disappointed too many times, and also the fact that I've just not cared, because I just pity it anyway. So, you know, I just think it's this game in particular, really. How many summons did we do? 22. Not including the tickets, by the way. Including the tickets, that's like 35. It's pretty good. Now, here's the thing. I still don't have the arc, so I'll make a deal with you. I'll do 1 or 2 temples for the arc, and then we'll focus on Nero. If the first temple gives a red, then we'll leave it. I'm not pitching the arc, trust me. I only want to risk it for a biscuit many times. I didn't expect us to get Nero. I really didn't. I thought I'm glad I built him, because look at this. Look at all these skills. Many skills I've learned over the past week or so. Yes, I don't think I've taught everything, because I have a build idea for Nero. This one. We'll have a look at him in a little bit. It looks pretty cool. I'm excited to try him out, not gonna lie. I personally feel like equipping a fire sword with a fire claw, right? Which is basically what is on my Roy. So I think this guy could be pretty strong. I did teach that. Okay, we're good. We're set for later.
Shall we dance?
We'll have a look at him very soon. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I need to do more Godforge, I really do. I'm kind of slacking because I just find it boring. Because doing multiplayer 24/7 is just Here's what I was thinking. These two weapons on Nero, they're at plus 39. I know. I really should get them to plus 40. I might be able to get at least one at plus 40 right now. It's just the materials are so expensive that I just don't want to. I just save the materials instead. I know that's dumb. I'm dumb, but you know, that's just how it is. I think this claw with this sword on Nero is going to be very good. It's going to be very good. Okay, let's do the final temple or two, and we'll start going over Nero, I guess. These are with 3 crystals. If this temple gets a red, then I'm going to stop. If it doesn't, I'll do singles until a red, because there's a small chance of an arc, and I know I said these arcs aren't that exciting. Well, remember when I also said this arc looks a bit better, I would prefer have the arc over the unit. Well, it looks like we're getting nothing. That's a skip from me. There's no reds here, which is expected. Yeah, there's so much Godforge I haven't done yet. Takes so long. I know how new players feel now. Not fully, but I have a decent amount of free crystals. I think so. And I still haven't done the new story yet. So, last one. Yeah, I am just thinking, I don't really need the arc. But it's decent. It's not crazy. Red arc. 0 animations. Yeah, but well, that's it. That's what Summer's done in the stream. Thanks for watching. 3 arc dupes. We got close. We really did. That was incredibly close. Can't get more close than that. Getting 3 reds. And they're all being arcs. We're gonna probably leave it at that because I'm not pitching it. I'm not going to. I'm not. I would if I was a insane person, but he's gone. I'm gonna start being a bit more smart with my spending now. How long that will last, I don't know. Let's check Trading Space one more time. Now, here's the last problem is how many credentials did we get, because I want at least 1 paid accessory. Yeah, well, we're getting that. There's no argument there. Well, when I started this game, I was free to play. I had decent luck, not all the time though. But there was a point where I just kept spending too much, you know. Let's just do 4 singles, because I want that page. At least one. There's number 3, skip, number 4, skip, and we're done. Yeah, I chased many URs. Blues, how disappointing. But I can't say I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Because this account has pretty good stuff. Now when I started, I remember I had 0 UR arcs. I was incredibly sad. So I wanted them all. And it happened. Let's get that one paid accessory and then we'll start focusing on Shift Nero. Guy came home eventually, it didn't take very long. So here's my final choice. Is this one. This one is, it just seems underwhelming. You're only getting 1000 damage cap and haste. I know not all UR arcs are worthy, but it's just, I'm crazy. I really should not have gone for Lenius UR arc because it wasn't worth doing, but I didn't want to miss out on it, and in the meantime it gave me Lenius dupes, so is at plus 12, which I use in Arena, so it's not all bad, right? It's not, that's the only time it's happened. Other times, well, I think Melee Mare took me around 240 summons. This one took 400. This one, not this one. This one, I think I was around 160-ish. I don't remember exactly, but... And then some of the early ones, this one was basically free. This one, I got this on a single summon before it was 0.4%, I think. I think this had no rate up, and I got it on a single summon, I think. That was when the rerun was... That was luck. That was super... This one, I didn't realise how lucky I got with that, but I got it from Anniversary, and I don't know why it's a plus 2. This one was a funny story. Funny story about this one, I was incredibly stupid. One Anniversary, I got about 3 or 4 UR arcs new for my account. Yeah, I was dumb, but it worked. I kept pulling, and I ended up reaching pity to buy a ticket for any random guaranteed UR arc. And Theopolis was one of the ones that I was missing. I think it was the only one I was missing, and I got it, even though if it would have been anything else it would have been a dupe. So that was incredibly lucky. Let's start looking at Shift Nero now, because I think it's going to be pretty fun to try out. Theopolis was pretty lucky on my part. That was incredibly lucky. I've been pretty lucky a lot of times, but I'm just trying to cover the fact that I've been unlucky too. I've been unlucky many times as well, but this collab for me has been pretty lucky. Should I use a rainbow potion? Also, I'm back at 4 rainbow potions, by the way. I'll tell you why. I got another one from guild login bonus. That means I've now got 3 rainbow potions from guild login bonus in total. So that's crazy. I mean, I don't know if I want to yet, because you know what also exists is training fields and special training, so I don't think I need to use the rainbow potion, so I'm going to save it because they're precious. I know I've got 4, but I'm saving for the moment. So I guess it'll be a bit of a longer stream than I originally thought, which I don't know why this happens to me. Game likes me for some reason, doesn't want me to leave until it screws me over really hard. Yeah, Guild Rewards sometimes very good, sometimes it's just sad. I get 1 bronze gold piece or just stupid materials that I don't need, and then out of nowhere you just get a random rainbow potion. It's quite funny. It's kind of like a lottery. It's its own gacha system. Crazy, right? Crazy. So, I think what I want to do with Nero is probably put as many skill stocks on him as possible and just spam his skill 1. That's my plan, and potentially skill 2, and I'm never ever going to touch that skill 3 in my whole life. That's how bad it is. You'll see if you haven't seen it yet. That's pretty lucky. I don't know how I'll get these potions, it's fine. Let's start teaching all the skills and I'll talk about random stuff. What's his ward, by the way? Good. More damage cap. I love to see it. I love damage cap. I love numbers. Go away. Stupid computer. Beep noises. I'm starting to think, when did I start this game? Is a good question. I don't remember the first unit that I got, or even started. I do remember when Thunder Sevia came out, and I wanted Thunder Sevia so badly. I spent 30,000 crystals on her, and still didn't get her. Incredibly salty, even though she was a permanent unit. It's so sad. And that was free to play crystals too. Yeah, I saw Buddha's stream and I saw how he kind of performs a bit, and I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I would be, because I saw some pretty high numbers and I saw how good a skill 1 was, so I'm not disappointed. I just think he isn't going to be, you know, crazy like Virgil. 2 multis is pretty lucky. We've been pretty lucky with this collab too, but only thing we're missing right now is the limited arc from part 2, which I would like to have. It's just I'm not going to pity it, so I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist for the time being. And my plan is to continue doing daily paid pulls, 100 paid crystals per day. I'm going to continue to do that, and I'm going to use the tickets that I get from the event. And that's it. Another revive accessory would be really good though. And it's just those 2 things alone, it's not worth doing. Yeah, the thing is, the skill 3 is just reminds me of Dante's skill 3. It's just slow, and I hate slow. I admit, the skill 3 looks really cool. Its animations are top notch. It compares pretty well to what it actually is in game on Devil May Cry 4, but that's not always what you want. Here's the problem. I think they just care mostly about trying to make skills in collabs that relate to the actual collab itself, so whatever it is. So in this instance, they're trying to make the skills relate to as much to the game itself, and not trying to focus as much on how good the skill is, you know? In some cases, well, most cases that's the case. Like with Nero's skill 3, his skill 3 is in the game, but I guess this is how it is, because they're trying to relate to what his skill is in the actual game itself. But if they were to increase the speed of it, make it a bit faster, or something like that, or use a different skill, would have been much better. So, my plan for this stream right now is to learn everything on Nero. We'll do the base showcase like we usually do, and I will try to level him up to level 100. We should be able to do that. It shouldn't take that long, because we've got a bunch of training stages on right now, and XP stages, so it shouldn't be that long. But I just want to save the Rainbow Potion because we have access to training stages right now. And collabs usually give more XP than a usual DOH unit would. Now I also have a question of who's the next unit going to be after this. Is it going to be a crazy DOH unit? Potentially. Okay, so before we do anything, I think I'm going to level him up a little bit first. And to do that, I'm just gonna show you how I do it. Granted this, and doesn't really matter. This is just for XP for the moment. Yeah, super armor. Yeah, but you can say that. That's just copium. That's just coming up with an excuse to why the skill 3 is slow. Because Virgil also has super armor when he's in his devil form, which when he uses a special. So, and we've seen how fast Virgil's skills are. Why couldn't Nero's be the same, right? There's no excuse for his skill 3 being so slow.
Are you ready?
Well, that's a disappointment. Adele would be interesting, but I don't know what it would be. Just an improved Shift Kyle. Pretty much. I hope the next unit is going to be a permanent unit, but I expect it's going to be a DOH unit. And we've had it happen before where we've had a collab, and then straight afterwards we've had a really strong DOH unit. Maybe even one or two. So be careful, because, I mean, if you don't want to worry about that, then don't worry, but if you do worry about what things to spend on and stuff like that, then just think of what could come. We don't know. I should really do the new story and stuff, but I've been playing other games. It makes it sound like I'm saying I'm seeing other people, but it's just other games, which almost the same. There you go, that works. Yeah, Persona collab. I personally didn't really like the Persona collab that much. because I just felt like the units were a bit... The units were okay, it's just not... They weren't my style of units. Because they were mostly focused about breaking units and things, and I don't usually do it that much. Unless... I don't know. Let's make this the last one and then we'll try him out in a bit. I need to put equipment on him first. Shift Balin right after a collab is evil, because Shift Balin is arguably the best unit. Well, not in the game, but as a DPS. He can be used almost anywhere. It's basically like a Loxaeus on steroids. And non-attribute as well. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Is that all you got? Down the hell you go!
Don't do that to me. What did I do to you, game? I did nothing. I was just minding my own business farming stuff. And you just close on me. Weird. See, I can't imagine what the next unit's gonna be. I don't have any ideas right now. Because, maybe part of the reason is because I haven't seen the new story, so I don't know any potential units that could have been released then. There could have been a few units. I want another Shift Lily unit, please, game. What about White Oracle Lily that we saw in the story? It was basically just a reskin of Advocate of God Lily, but, you know, let's leave it at that. I'm gonna try him out now, because I'm sure you've been waiting for that. Let's equip him with some... So, equipments... You can equip swords and machines and claws, which is perfect actually. That's all the weapons that I would equip on him to begin with, so... Perfect. He doesn't have any paid swords, so that's... Well, he doesn't have any paid weapons, so that's the first. We don't see that often, we usually have at least one paid weapon. Options... Basically the same options, but since he's got Goddess Kiss already, I highly recommend, if possible, to put on fire weapons. Now, I already told you what I would put on. That's the fire claw and the fire sword. Obviously there's other options, like any of this stuff is good, it's the same weapons that I always mention. I think I'm going to build him as a mostly fire DPS unit. I'm not going to put on Trishula, at least for now, because why would I use Trishula against enemies with fire resistance when I could just use the Virgil instead? That seems better, you know. I'm just saying, don't hate me. We haven't even tried them yet, so I can't even come to any conclusions yet, but accessories, paid accessory, number 1, it's the only one I have, but we'll be putting that on. I'm not going to get the second one, I just don't feel like it's worth it at all. It's definitely not. Because I have access to all the honey elixir and stuff, I don't think it's worth it. And for the second accessory, well, if you need damage, then you know what to put. But if you don't, then this one is good. This is basically like the paid accessory, but without haste, pretty much. So, there you go. That's a good option. If I needed a damage cap, that would be good, but I'm not going to put that on for now. I'm just going to go for damage, so for that reason, mid for relief, because I like it for speed. And we're going to go with this. Any other options? Basically, nothing else really. Just anything you've got. I can't really say much to recommendations for equipment anymore. It's basically the same thing, because you should expect to just put the best thing you have on, right? And try to put on fire weapons if possible. Okay, he's gonna have that on. What's his stats looking like? I'm gonna put on Honey Elixir 2, 2000 strength already, pretty good. I'm also gonna go to a God Forge and see if I can get myself some plus 40 weapons. Bullseye. I personally would probably prefer to have... Would I rather have the sword or the claw at plus 40? Is a good question. I don't think it makes a difference, because I think they both get plus 10. So, I don't think it matters. The claw getting plus 40 is just very strong. It's incredibly strong. Plus 40 fire skill damage on a weapon is just probably the highest we've got right now, isn't it? Let's do that in a second. I think that's all we need. Actually, purple orb too, but I'm not going to do that yet. We'll try them out with base skills. So I did farm a little bit of multiplayer over the past 2 weeks or so. I don't know how long ago, but does he have... He does. Well, why only plus 20? Let's do this then, because why not? I don't know why they did this. Adding paid equipment to Godforge seems like a bad idea. Takes its time. There you go. So they only go to plus 20. Makes sense. Let's go to the... Where do we need to go? I don't think it's here, right? Godforge Alchemy. Godforge Enhancements. So, I am looking at these two. This sword I could get plus 40. I kind of want to, not gonna lie. And also this claw. I think I can get at least one of them if I craft the materials right now. That just gets plus 10% fire physical attack damage. That gets plus 10% fire skill damage. It doesn't matter which one you get. But I'm gonna go with the sword. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the sword. So I need these. Reason being is because if I'm up against enemies that have higher fire resistance, then I still need to have one sword equipped, and the second weapon could be the Trishula instead of the claw. So that's my reasoning behind it. I need to make sure I don't craft the wrong materials. So Celestial Jewel. Celestial Jewel. There you go. Now that's all my materials gone, pretty much. Let's get that. It's painful, I don't want to press this button because I spent so long getting these materials. But I'm going to do it anyway. Now let's showcase Nero. I'm going to try him out. I should have put showcase in the title of this stream, but I didn't realise that this would happen. I mean, I considered changing it, but I could only change it when I was on my computer and it was a bit too late at that point. Let's go to the normal stage that we always do. Now, remember he has Sniper Slayer, I believe. So him by himself, with Councillor Chen just because, or should I just put on this instead? You know, potentially could do that. Boost critical rate and damage. I'm just gonna keep that on. Let's just go. I have Honey Elixir on. So, you're gonna see his skills. And the main problem with his skill 3 being so slow. Obviously, you know, you could probably get flinched. In arena, you're probably not gonna use it. So, Honey Elixir, I don't even have MP, that's the first, this never happened before. So, from on base, without Councillor 10, he would have 4, 3, 2 skill stocks. 4 skill 1, not bad, could be higher, could have been 5. 3 skill 2 is pretty good, and 2 skill 3 is average. So let's try them out. Skill 3. Actually, I just forgot to switch over to the Steam version. I should do that. I forgot to do that. Now you can see the lag that it's gonna do. Let's just do that before I do anything else. Close. It takes like 1 minute, not even that. Now I can close emulator because I don't need it anymore. Perfect. So I'm not sure what his range looks like on his skill 3 yet. We're gonna have to try it out. I still think that his skill 1 is probably his highest DPS skill. Maybe his skill 2 could be good too, but is it going to be as good as skill 1? Maybe not. You'll see why. I don't remember how much Virgil was hitting when we did this, but we're just trying to compare a little bit. Obviously I need MP, so we've got to level him up like 2 more times. Not even that. That's a 10. Let's just start spamming things. Maybe try and group them up a little bit. Come over here. It's a trap. Now this is without Devil Trigger buff. Look at the skill 1 though. This is lovely. Skill 3, slow. Look at how slow this is. Skill 2 though, decent. I got my special. Well, it's pretty fun, not gonna lie. He does have sharp eyes in his kit, so that's gonna add quite a bit of damage. Let's do... Let's just do... Try out his special next, I guess. There you go. Let's try this out. We're still with base skills at 4th enhance. We'll get him to 5th enhance later on, hopefully. I have enough energy.
Are you ready?
What's the plan for this one? This is the plan. So that's his base skill stocks. Let's use... No, we don't need to use Demon Form because we can use a special. Let's just focus on the boss and now do it. This will activate his Devil Trigger form. His special is not that crazy. It's against one enemy too. Now he's got super armor on. As his special. See those numbers? 40k, 42, 20, 10, 23, 29. It's just weird. I know he's not hitting damage cap yet, but there's weird numbers going on. Very weird. Now, I don't know if it means that he's going to be good in arena because he's getting so much damage randomly. Like, if you could have his trait 1. If you could have his trait 1 activate plus 100% damage on a skill, that could melt people really fast, but that's quite rare to happen. Right now it's only 8% because it's not 5th hearts yet, but still good. Now what do I want to try next? Final thing, I guess, testing. This will be fun. People like to see this.
Shall we dance?
Which arc would I recommend? I guess I could talk about that now. Recommended arcs for Shift Nero. I would probably use Katsuchi. I personally like this. I personally like this arc, mostly for damage cap. It's okay. Counselor 10 is also a good option. I might use this actually, because if he's doing a lot of damage, he doesn't really need that much damage from an arc trait, does he? So, if he's hitting a lot of damage, he just needs to be able to spam skills as much as he can, so Counselor 10 is good for that. I think Counselor 10 is going to be a very good option for Nero. And any other arcs like Icy Guardian or stuff that you want to put on is up to you. But for now, I'm just going to go with Katsuchi and do this team because I think it's good enough. I don't need anything crazy, do I? No. Let's go with this and try and see how fast he can kill everything with just skill 1s. That's my plan.
Are you ready?
Wait, do I even have... I didn't even put on Great War of Ruin. I kinda need that. I mean, I don't. I actually don't. That's just for using specials. I guess I don't need to do that. Let's just do it anyway. I don't really need it. I'm not going to worry about specials. Let's just do it like this.
Are you ready?
So, Demon Form, Iron Elixir, and let's just use this just in case, and Theophilus. Now, I'm going to spam only skill 1. I want to see this. See, look at this. 50k, 60k, 54. It's weird. It's incredibly weird.
Is that all you got? Down the hell you go!
But it's fun and could be pretty strong. Obviously, if he was hitting 60k all the time, that would be too strong. It's not bad. I kind of like it. I want to do it again. Can I do it again? Actually, let's do this a few times, and I'm just going to showcase different skills to compare them with how good they are. I think the skill 1s is the main skill. Not gonna lie, I still think that.
Are you ready?
So this time let's try skill 2 only, right? And try that instead. So he's only got 3 of them, so we might not be able to kill him this time, but... It's still good, but... Yeah, look, 60k, 47, 47. It's good. It's good.
Is that all you got? Down the hell
But
you
it's not
go!
like a... You know, someone else that can just use a skill 3, 1 or 2 skill 3s, and just kill everything. Right. Now let's use a skill 3 and try that.
Are you ready?
So skill 3 is going to be incredibly slow, but it should be able to kill him in 2 skill 3s, right? It should. That's fun, but it's just feels slow. When skill 3 almost killed them all, that is good, I know, it's just compared to Virgil, Virgil has the same hit counts if you do doppelganger. Well, do I need to do any more testing with his 4th enhance? I don't think so. I'll do one more. Just him by himself. And then we'll go over to try to do 5th enhance soon. So my plan for this, actually, I can't put on Council of 10 because I need more MP, that's the problem. I need to do that.
Are you ready?
We need to level them up, at least a few more times. Might as well do some of that now. So we can't do this anymore, but there's always this stage. And I don't know if Training Field is going to give more, but it should. Could always do a bunch of Nightmare stages. How much XP does this give? It's a good question. I haven't really done this much, or at all, for XP. So here's going to be
Ready?
something fun. I still need more MP, this is sad. I wish I could spam more of a skill 1 right now, but I don't have the things for that. I need Pose of Glory.
Shall we dance? Are you ready? Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Might as well use it.
Hell yeah! Shall we dance?
Come on. I kinda like that.
Is that all you got? Down the hell you go!
His skill 2 is kinda like Virgil's skill 3, but not as many hits. So it's not terrible. How much XP? Pretty good. I think we can level him up to 100 in not that long. Not much time at all. Might as well do that, because I do want to try him out on 5th enhance without using a rainbow potion for once, because I think it's more valuable to use them on DH units, because it's harder to build those units. Now we have enough MP, I can just use my elixir. I think it's going to be pretty good for clearing waves, but at the same time, you could just use a unit like Roy that could do the same thing, but faster and better, but let's not think about that. Let's just enjoy this, because it's pretty good.
Shall we dance? Is that all you got? Down the hell you go!
900,000 XP, I think. It turns it into 1.8 mil. That's a lot of XP. Maybe I should do a filter. He's a knight, right? I'm not dumb. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Amazing. Gotta love Granadas. I still have him as my support. 101 orb recoveries. I don't like this. Is it going to take years to use all these? Maybe not that long, but feels like it. See some of those low numbers too. You saw 17k.
Shall we dance?
Well, Granadus gives XP, and I just need to level up Shift Nero right now, so that's the only reason I'm doing this. I want to get Shift Nero to level 100. Granadus has a unique skill that gives plus 100% XP. He's the only unit in the game that has it. That's the main reason why people use him, for XP. He's incredibly valuable. Not many people pulled for him because they didn't really care too much about tank unit, but he's pretty good. I would say he's one of the most useful units in the game. Not the most, but at least in the top 5 potentially. Level 86. I just check. I have my Granadus built pretty well for a support. He's got this. The only unit in the game that has this. Incredibly good. And if you have him as a support, then this one unit is going to get all of the XP bonus. So that's good. Makes farming XP so much faster. Yeah, some of these numbers are quite low. You saw 16k. That's what I'm worried about. But he isn't even built yet, so I shouldn't really need to worry about anything yet. I want to see what his numbers are like when it's fully built. We'll see that later on. Those down hits on his skill 2 are pretty fast. I don't know if his skill 2 compares to his skill 1 though. If it turns out that his skill 2 is a bit faster, then it might be good to spam one skill 1, use one skill 1 and then start spamming skill 2. Potentially. I mean, I don't know the best rotation really, but it doesn't matter too much right now. I personally like to use at least one of each skill, so it gives them time to, you know, start recovering SCT. Because if you're at max skill stocks, you're not going to recover any SCT. So this hard stage is probably going to give less than that other stage we were doing, but we only need 10 more levels. I should probably have Pose of Glory and it'll make this much faster. Actually, what if I just use Phone Booth, whatever that arc's called, Mobile Office arc. That's a good idea. Oh really, Granadus killed something. Sometimes my Granadus kills people in arena, even though he's a tank. It's kind of funny. How much XP for this one? Not as much, but yeah, it's not giving us much. Hardly. But we have to do it. Just get him to level 100 as soon as we can. Are there any other better stages? Well, let me check. Would this training stage give more XP? I'm gonna test it. Just because I have to. Well, that didn't last very long. There you go. So how much XP from this one? Probably, I'd maybe guess it's not going to be as much as the other one. 36... Yeah, not as much because he's not getting the bonus from being a collab unit. The other training stage does give more because he gets a bonus times 2 XP, I believe, so make sure to do this one. I'm going to keep doing this until we get him to level 100 because I kind of want to showcase him at 5th Enhance fully built once we get to it. Now I shouldn't need to use any honey elixir or anything this time. I should be able to just spam skills and kill everything, which we are doing. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You just keep spam skill 1, don't need to do anything else. It's pretty fun. There you go. Perfect. So it gives less, but it doubles it. 8 more levels. I might run out of these Granadus units supports. Well, I think we got pretty lucky with Nero. You can always just watch it later if you're really interested, because this stream is going to be uploaded as a video later on. But we got Nero from about, I think, 35 summons in total, so it's pretty lucky. Got everything from crystals. Tickets never really give me any good luck. Haven't got anything from tickets in a long while. I swear I haven't got any collab units or arcs from, well, any new collab units or arcs from tickets in an incredibly long time. Don't remember the last time it happened. We do get souls from this too, which is good. At the same time, I'm learning Purple Orb, which is perfect, actually. Doing a lot of things at the same time. I would still like to have the arc, not gonna lie, but I'm not going to chase for it because it's not worth it. The only reason I think it's good is because it's giving that one skill that gives you a physical damage buff, and the Arcane reward gives a revive. Apart from that, there's nothing else to really note on that. So for that reason, I don't think it's worth going for. So I'm just gonna risk my luck on daily pay pulls and tickets from now on. Well, for the rest of the collab. I think there's like 1 or 2 weeks left. Well, probably 2. Because next week there's time trial, and then the last week. Virgil's pretty lucky, because I would say Virgil is probably the best unit to get from this collab, at least from part 1 and part 2. Virgil's the best one to get. He's just so good. Especially if you can build him with a lot of SCT, he's going to be incredibly good. But not everyone's going to be able to do that. And by that I mean Honey Elixir or Apple Pie on Virgil. It's going to be pretty good. I did make a video on that, one of my short videos. I kind of like those short videos, I think they're pretty good. I prefer doing those. Just so I don't waste time talking about things that I don't need to, just to make the video longer. I'm not pointing any names, I'm just saying. That's the way I'd like to do things. Almost got purple orb. Great. I think purple orb with skill charge, well, skill stock 1 is going to be really good on Nero. Yeah, he's pretty good. Especially with Vars UR arc, I think he's very strong. The only problem is, if a new player joins the game and just tries him out, they're not going to be able to reach the maximum potential that others can, but that's kind of expected. But what I mean is the damage, because he needs a lot of damage skills. I noticed he wasn't able to hit damage cap without Vars UR arc. Unless I put on Berserker or something, which I didn't want to. I still have the same build that I posted on the video that I released a few days ago. I think it's great. 95, come on. Five more levels. I could always just use potions as well. I have a few. By that I mean at least over 1,000. I just think Virgil with Doppelganger is really broken, but not as broken as like Roy, for example. Not on the same level, but still up there. I would say close to Ardeen against dragons, but not really, because Virgil can be used with Doppelganger against everyone and has pretty high damage. Obviously it doesn't reach 60k, you probably could make it reach that, but he's got a lot of hit counts and everything, it's really fast. Yeah, I personally love using Demon Lord Rimuru. He's my favourite DPS unit in the game for Arena. I've only got 4 of these guys left. Damn. When Demon Lord Rimuru came out, I instantly knew that he was going to be good in Arena. So I've been using him ever since. I want to say that I'm probably one of the first ones that at least used him properly in Arena, or at least put him in my full Arena team and saw his potential for Arena. Probably not the only one, but I've probably used him the most out of anyone. If you can build a lot of damage on Demon Lord Rimuru for Arena, then it's going to just melt everything. I personally prefer him more than Roy, because he has... I just think all of his 3 skills work well together. Skill 1, long range, fast hits, and can do even more hits if enemies are together. Skill 2 pulls enemy together. Perfect combination right there already. I shouldn't have pressed start, I was kind of not paying attention. At least I have enough energy. It doesn't really... It matters, but not too much. If I go and retire... So I don't want to waste time. Probably going to anyway. I haven't done these 2 yet. I've only got 4 of these guys left. 72, we're fine. Oh, well... I'm just gonna do that. There you go, we're done. Save some time there, just a few minutes of your time is now saved. Thank me later. Those few minutes going to be used, I hope, for something very valuable that's more worth than watching this stream. Okay, let's get 50 hearts right now. Let's do that. I've been wanting to do this. And crazy. Let's learn the skills and then try him out, just to compare what he's like with base skills to his 4th enhance. I think that's always a good idea. I do have enough materials, I believe. I might need more eventually. I'm gonna need more books. I at least have 3 of all books.
Okay.
Fire attack raise 3.
Okay.
For more damage cap. Love to see it.
Okay.
I still wish there was an unlock all button. That would save so much time. And then the final skills down here. Here's the traits. The 5th enhance. It's pretty good. I was talking crap on it earlier, but
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think my thoughts are still the same. I feel like when I get the unit, I kind of want to force myself to like it. That's sometimes the case. So here's his stats right now. Level 100, 5th enhance. With this equipment, I think it's pretty good. These two give HP. So he does have decent HP, I think. Let's try him out. Again. And then after that, I don't know if I want to fully build him or if I should wait, because I know people would want to see it, but it's just resources are important and Mother Souls are not going to last forever, so if I were to use all these right now, I don't think that's a good idea, you see, because it uses so many. I think I'd rather save these, so I don't think I'm going to do a full build in this stream for 90 SC. I just think I want to save these Mother Souls. So I'm still going to do at least build him a little bit. I'd recommend skills and stuff, but not fully. Maybe if I can build him fast enough, I can do another separate shorts video. I'll probably do that, like with Virgil. Let's try him out. What's the plan? Demon form and Capsule 10. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's still pretty good. Look at the numbers though. 52k on that one hit. Just that one. No other hits, just one hit. The others were doing about 33k on average, which is below average. But they probably weren't hitting damage cap. So that makes sense. Because I don't think he's going to hit damage cap yet. I'm interested to see what he's like when he's able to hit damage cap. Let's just test it. Maybe one skill 3 is going to kill them all this time. Maybe.
Are you ready?
Let's do what we did before, just test the skills out. Oh. 64,000. Now those are numbers I like to see, but in most situations you're not going to have an expert and a Tintilly in the same team just to buff a Nero. You're not going to. But still, it's pretty good. Let's do it a few more times. Just to test out the different skills. And then I guess try and build him a bit more.
Are you ready?
So this time let's use skill 2 only. And see how fast it kills them. More than half damage with one skill 2. 65, 67. That's pretty good. Imagine if we could see a 100k dual wield. Anything above 60k is just crazy, but you've got to remember it's not all of his hits doing that damage, it's only one random hit doing that number. On average it's going to be less. On average it's going to be, I don't know, about in between whatever the two numbers are.
Are you ready?
Let's use skill 3. I'm going to try it out, because I want to see. There we go. Will this one skill 3 kill them all, or not? 2.3 mil-ish. 70k I saw. It does. Well... it's not bad. I'll give you that. It's actually good. But... is using one skill 3 and doing all that damage faster than spamming skill 1s or skill 2s? I'm not sure. I would say probably not, no. Maybe the skill 3 isn't the worst thing ever. I'm gonna just do it one more time, just for the sake of doing it. Let me do the ideal. Well, actually, let's just spam things. This will be the final one, then I'm gonna just add on other skills. So here's what I would probably do. I'm gonna do this as a test. One skill 1 and then start spamming skill 2. See, that's pretty good. 69k, 70k. Using a skill 1 and then the skill 2 almost killed him. Almost. Very close. And that would definitely have been faster than using one skill 3. Maybe using a skill 1, skill 2, skill 1 combo. I kind of got to find the good combo of skills to use one more time. Maybe if you could do it well enough, skill 1, skill 2, skill 1, just keep doing that. I'm just coming up with ideas.
Are you ready?
Just because. It's a bit more difficult to do it on my computer though, but... oh, that killed him anyway. Never mind. They're dead. Well, that's fast. You see that? That is fast. But it is with buffs from other units, 2 other units, so remember that. Let's put some skills on him. And try him by himself. And I guess we're almost done. So... I don't really know how fast his special charges, but I don't expect it to be any faster than an average unit. So I don't want to use many Mother Souls right now. I kind of want to save them. We do have one prism. So I'm going to try and keep him at 52 SC for the moment. I will probably do another shorts video like I did with Virgil, but for Nero this time, in the next few days, if I can manage to build him fast enough to get him enough souls for that 90 SE. But maybe I'll get bored and decide to use Mother Souls anyway, but I don't want to use all of these because I kind of need them. I know I still have a lot, but let's just start equipping a few things and give some suggestions. So since he already has Goddess Kiss, I would recommend a Honey Elixir or Apple Pie if you have it. If you don't, then don't worry about it. And I already know that I definitely want to equip Purple Orb and Skill Stock 2. Pose of Glory and Pose of Honor, I highly recommend that too, because those are going to be very useful. I usually use the same skills for most DPS units. Sword High Boost is, yeah, very good. Claw Boost, I'm going to use that because I have a Claw equipped right now. This is going to be my build for the moment for against enemies that are weaker to fire. If I were against an enemy that had fire resistance and I wanted to use Nero, I would change out the Claw for Trishula. But for the maximum damage, the Claw is very good to have. Skill 1 Breakthrough is actually a good option on Nero because he uses so many skill 1s, so I might do that. It's only 500 damage cap, but I'm gonna use it with Purple Orb and those skill stocks. I recommend this too. And we're almost there, which is sad at 52, but this isn't a full build, this is just suggestions. Giant Killing 2 I would definitely put on because I just like it. If you have it, not many people are going to. If you're struggling for hitting damage cap, then Berserker's good, but I don't really recommend it because I like surviving. I want to live. Who doesn't? Anything else automatic equipped, I like using any type of speed. Skills are good to have. And there are a few skills up here that I didn't mention yet. Combo Master's good, but he already has Combo Master 2. If you're struggling to hit damage cap, then you could put on Combo Master 1 if you need it, because it's pretty good too. He doesn't have any revives, so a decoy could be decent if you need it. Anything else? Machine Boost if you need Trishula. Don't see too much else really right now. Pirate's Feast, if you're doing multiplayer or against the multiple waves, that's pretty good. Always remember that. And Fire Drive, I didn't remember to equip. I didn't remember to learn that. Yeah, he is basically a better Dante because they're both fire, and both of their skill 3 are slow. So they are pretty similar, not gonna lie. They actually are very similar. It's quite surprising how similar they are. I would definitely put on Fire Drive. I'm gonna teach that to him later. Pride, I like having Pride. It's pretty good. Awaken with Awaken 2. That's mostly gonna be for Arena if you want to try it. I think that could be good. Ardor's decent. Fast Speed, potentially, if you need the speed. I would like that. It's 1 SC, it's good. Anything else? Fast Matisse is decent because it helps Proud Force, which I don't think he has on, so I don't know if Awakening stacks. I'm assuming it does. It doesn't say anything about them not being able to stack. It just says once per wave. Once per wave. I think they stack, but I can't be sure. I would have to test it somehow. I don't know how I would test that. Maybe by equipping both and then taking a bunch of damage. Do they both activate at the same time, or does one activate first and then the other one activate when you get low again for the second time? I don't know. I think if they do work together, it could be very strong, incredibly strong, but I will try that once I've fully built him, or I could try it in Arena in just a second. I might do that actually. Any other skills? Yeah, some up here. Proud Force, definitely need that. Critical Up 3, I probably recommend that too, because more healing is very nice to have. Critical Up 1 if you want, but it's not really the best. It's only 2 SC. Some HP if you want, that's pretty much it. That's all the skills I'd recommend. I don't think there's anything else I can mention. But for the moment, I have these skills on, but this isn't my final build. This is just the ones that I want for the moment. I don't know what my build is going to be for 90 SE, but I might make a video on that later on. Just a short video like I did with Virgil. If I can build him fast enough and get enough souls, then I'll do that. But let's keep it like this for now. I will do one final showcase and then briefly try him in arena, but don't expect him to do super well because he's not fully built yet, and he doesn't even have Game Master or anything. He might do. This will be the final showcase for the moment, and then we'll try out arena. I kind of mostly want to do arena just to test awakening somehow, if I can manage to test it. I don't know the best way to do that. So here's the good thing of using Council of 10 is you can use MP to use Demon Form, and then you can just use Council of 10 right afterwards. And now look at my skill stocks. Right, 7-6, 7-6. You see how good this is. I think this is going to be one of my builds that I'm probably going to use, is Nero with Council of 10 with many skill stocks. I think I'm going to do that. Maybe that is the way. Skill 1, skill 2, skill 1. He's getting good damage now, not gonna lie. This seems good. One more time. I just want to test. Let's go up against the other stage. I want to test. Is there might be a little bit of downtime in between the skill 2s, and if the skill 1 in between can kind of stop that downtime, I think doing a skill 1, skill 2, skill 1 could be a good combo, but I'm just testing it because I want to.
Are you ready?
What are their fire resistance, by the way? 0. Perfect. I could try and get some MP back. I should probably do that for Sharp Eyes. Let me see what his MP regen's like. Amazing. Okay, let's try the thing. Yeah, that thing's pretty good. It's hard to test because they die so quickly. I just want to compare that to spamming skill 2s. Because I think doing a combination of skill 1 and skill 2 is the best thing to do. One more time. Yeah, that's what I want to do, but the thing is, Awaken might activate and then I could die right afterwards.
Are you ready?
At least that's what's going to happen in Arena. Skill 1. Is there downtime in skill 2? A little bit, you can see that, right? The skill 1 kind of stops that downtime a little bit. 63k. I think that's pretty good. It's more impressive than I originally thought that it would be. I kind of like that. I see myself spamming skill 1, skill 2 quite a lot. So I think that's going to be the way. I know the way. I see it. It's so clear to me right now. Let's go try him in arena. I just want to test out the awakening thing somehow. Or do you think I'll be able to try it out on this stage? Potentially. How much damage do they do? Because it could be a lot easier to do it this way. Hit me. Not really any damage. This would take a while if I were to do this way. I mean, for the sake of doing it, I want to test it. So the stats right now, 3,876. Awakening 2 will activate soon. There you go, and now 5,218. Crazy. So that's that. That's only with Awakening 2. Let's kill him. I love that. That's good. That's even without demon form. Okay. Where's the easiest hot stage? There's too many stages to remember all this stuff. Probably a desert, right? With continuous HP reduction thing. Now let's try it with Awakening 1 as well. Which means I'll have to unequip something, which doesn't really matter. Hey, I've got a better idea. Why don't we unequip HP? Because we don't need it for this. we don't need HP. Actually, that's smart. I got an idea. Kinda. It's a bad idea, but it's kind of a good idea. I don't think you can equip it though, can he? I don't even know. There's some kind of robe or something that gives him less HP, but it might not be. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. I think it's a robe. Heart of Temple. Right. Okay. See, I'm one person that doesn't really go back to stages that often. Apart from the normal stages that I always do. I think this is... Wait, no, hang on. I got a better idea than anyone else. Berserker. Problem solved. So I don't think that Awakening 1 is going to do nothing. I think they're either going to both activate at the same time, or one's going to activate first, then the other one activates the second time around. I think that's the most likely option, and the stat buffs probably cancel each other out, I'm going to guess. Let's just check. We have both on right now. Once per wave when close to death. Perfect. Let's try it out. So base stats 3,347. Take a lot of hits. And let's watch this list of skills that shows up here. And it's going to show up Awakening whenever it activates. So Royal Armor keeps activating. Awaken activates right now. So that didn't activate Awaken 2, right? Only Awaken 1 activated. So now we've got 4,120 strength. And when does Awakening 2 activate? It should activate once we get low again, right? That's what I expect. Maybe. Or does it not activate? There it is, Awakening 2 activates, now we've got 4,500, so I think I confirmed that. I'm pretty sure that they don't stack the stats, but they both activate individually. So I still think that's going to be incredibly good for Arena, having both of them. Because it basically, you survive when you get low on HP 2 times. It's basically having 2 Awakenings at the same time, but one's a little bit stronger. I think that's good. It's not broken good, but it's still very good. I think it's good, but I wouldn't use it on normal stage. Probably just Arena and that's it. Yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, Imagine if you could put Awakening 2 on other units. Sad it's only on Nero right now, the only unit in the game that has this one skill. But trust me, it's going to be on other units in the future. 100%, definitely will. Let's go back to what we were using. And then I will do arena quickly, and then I guess we'll finish there. Don't need Awaken anymore. I think Awakening 2, having it already on him makes it valuable, I think. And the fact that it can be used as well as Awakening 1 is also very good. I don't know how good he's going to be in arena. I want to test it properly later on. I just want to do it a little bit right now because I can't really do much without the full builds. Because I do want to just build him really fast, but waste materials. Let's try it out. I haven't really been doing that much arena, but I do plan to, hopefully, in this season. I've still been using Virgil for arena. I don't think my build has really changed, but he's pretty good.
Shall we dance?
Because it doesn't matter. So all base skills on right now. I'm going to try and do as much damage as I can with 52 SC. That's the plan. And I'll probably put on Awakening 1 as well. But I don't expect it to do very much because he's not going to have all the skills that I want. So I like HP plus 2, I would probably put that on, but I can't really right now. I kind of need Proud Force crits, but is that important right now? I don't know. Mimicry Fish I do have on Archimedes. I don't know if I need that, but might as well. Pass speed, maybe. Awaken. Now let's focus on the damage. I still need Fire Drive, that's important. Mimicry Fish is for the arc, I'll show you in a second. It's an endgame arc though, so most players are not going to have access to it. Even if they do have it, they're not going to be able to reach it to its full potential, just because it's... you need so many fish. Yeah, this is a problem. I don't have enough SC to put all the damage skills on. That's a big problem. I'm already... yeah, I have all the fish, so it's very good for me. I wish I could put more skills on. Besties. What should I remove? Crits? Awaken? I guess so. Yeah, those stupid minigames are very fun. I say that with a... I don't know, I don't think they're fun at all. Very sarcastic. They're very hard. It's the main thing I'm trying to say. I've had difficulties with those, but I managed to do them eventually. Let's try it with this. So I get plus 40% because I've got all the fish, and there's also a chance to get a 50% buff to a random attribute. So in total you could have a maximum of plus 90% damage, and you also get don't flinch from regular attacks and boost movement speed. So that's why it's good. Let's try him out, but he's not going to do very much. So I don't really want to battle anyone, but I'm going to try and find a weak person I mean, I don't have any arena points, so I should be fine with whoever I match. I should. But I don't think it's going to do very much damage because he's not built properly. It's still on auto, damn it. Awakening 2 saved him. You see he's not doing much right now. That's because he's not built. But I don't know if I want to use a skill 1 and suicide into there. I'm gonna do it. Then go back to Thuria. 2,000. Kill everything, please. Yeah, he's not really doing enough for me yet because he's not built, but he's survived a few hits, so that's something. Now, Linus is going to kill everything for me. Thank you. How much damage? Yeah, that's no damage because he doesn't have Trishula. I kind of forgot about that. Not gonna lie. Well, I see a problem is Nero kind of needs a lot of combos, right? And in Arena, you don't really do many combos because you try and kill things as fast as you can. So I don't think he's going to be amazing in Arena at least yet, unless he can do a lot of damage before the combos, because he's not going to reach 100 combos really. But he seemed to survive a few hits, so when he's fully built, he might not be terrible. And if I were to change out, I have no equipment. If I were to change out one of the weapons for, Trishula, then it could be better. I'm disappointed in myself. Let's try that again, because I don't think that was a good test, was it? Well, there you go. Let's try it again. Forget that. That one example didn't happen. I don't know if I want to do that. This one is a tank team. I don't have the right stuff. Really? Well, I can't say no. This is going to be a super fast kill. I can say that. Yep. Keep pressing that skill 1 as fast as I can. Kill him. There you go. 0 sandworms. Sandworm is so good, but I feel like we're not needing dual wield as a teachable skill for as many units. I don't know who that was. It might have been just a bot team or just. No, it's just I'm matching a lot of new players right now because I don't have many points. That would change later. I don't push at the start. I push like in a few weeks or so. So let's try this out. A proper team. What's the damage going to be like? Not terrible, but not the best. Why are you surviving? I don't want you to. Go. Well, it's not bad. obviously he's not fully built either. Yeah, Nero without Trish is not going to be killing any Gorms, ever. So you've got to think about that, because Gorm is pretty often used in Arena. With Trishula, maybe he does enough damage, but I can't say yet, because... how much damage was that? I can't really see damage numbers. 1000. Well, it's not too bad, considering he's not fully built yet, and I don't even have Berserker and a few other skills for damage, so... yeah, it's not doing much damage yet, but I'm sure it's decent later on. But I don't think he's going to be great for killing tanks unless you do a lot of combos and get a random strong hit from his straight one. So just to let people know, what skills am I missing that I would put on for damage? Well, that's a good question. I could put on more crits with advanced aim vitals potentially, but I don't know if that's the best option. Probably not. He does have a few slayers. Most of the stuff down here you don't really need. Awaken 1 you could put on. Ardor for crits, I probably wouldn't put that on unless you need crit damage. Fire Drive, I need that. Fire Attack Raise 2, you could, but it's a bit expensive. I would only put that on if you have a lot of SC. I don't know of anything else at the moment. Physical Weak Point Boost. Yeah, my team is pretty good. I've worked hard on my defense team. I don't see anyone using the same defense as me, the exact same, because I try and do my own thing. I don't try and copy other people's defense. I mean, I say that and I'm using Amelia, but it's fine. Maybe there's still some skills I haven't taught him yet. Claw Boost, yeah, I think maybe Trishula with Machine Boost and Machine High Boost might be better for Arena. That might be better. That probably will be better. Especially against tanks. I think that would be good. And then... not much else really. Dog Eat Dog, that was an important skill that I didn't put on because I'm dumb. Berserker is also a good option for Arena and automatic equipped. So yeah, there are quite a few that I'm missing for the moment. So I'm going to be trying them out once I have him more built later on. Yeah, this defense, I personally like this defense. I'm not telling you my secret, it's just... well, I want to because I think it's impressive. Not everyone, you know, loses against my defense, but that's not the point. It can be annoying. If you're doing auto against his team, it could be difficult, but I'll push Arena later. I'm not worrying about that yet. I'll get top 10 this time, for sure. Okay, well I think that's everything for Nero. I'm surprised we've reached 2.5 hours right now. I thought it was just going to be around 2 hours, but I guess it's good. So anything else I need to mention? Well, Nero seems like a pretty good unit so far. I just noticed a few problems with him though. I've mentioned them most in this video, but just as a conclusion, they lag. Well, Roy, Lagraine and Amelia, yeah. I personally enjoy Lagraine in my defense because he just seems like he's killing so many people. It's pretty fun. I like it. And Roy's just always going to be on a defense team for quite a while. So I'm going to talk about my conclusion so far, because I think we've done everything we can here, apart from my final build, but I'm going to be doing that later, because I just feel like we've been here for a long time, and I need a break as well. So, Nero, I think he's pretty good so far. He's better than I thought he was, but again, his skill 3 is a bit too slow for a burst unit. For a burst DPS, I think Virgil's better, and he can be used everywhere, but maybe Nero could have a bit better potential with using his skill 1 and skill 2 for DPS. I don't really know, but I just personally prefer Virgil overall as a unit, but Nero isn't terrible. He isn't as bad as I thought he was originally, but still not the best. I don't think we're ever going to find the best unit in the game for a while. I wonder when the next broken unit's going to be. His trait 1 is interesting, it's quite fun, it's just random, which you don't like to see randomness because you want to have consistent damage. Having random damage and damage caps is fun, it's just sometimes it could be bad, sometimes it's good, because you saw I was hitting 70,000 damage, which was crazy high, but that was just one hit, and the other hits are usually below 60k, around 50k or 40k ish on average, which is most average numbers nowadays. I think around 30 to 40k, I think. Well, at least Virgil is around 45k with dual wield hits when using Doppelganger, which is good. But I think he's going to be a good unit. Nothing crazy. Better than I expected, a decent DPS unit. His skill 1 and skill 2, you got to mostly focus on those two. I might try messing around a bit more with his skill 3, and maybe I'll see a bit more value in it. But right now, I think his skill 3 is his worst skill. But since he's got super armor when he uses the Devil Trigger buff, it isn't terrible, and it gives him access to more skills. I think my best build for him right now is probably going to be Council of 10, because I just think that's going to be a good combo. It's going to give him some more damage cap, and I think he already has enough damage to hit cap on most of his skills already. And it gives him more skill stocks and recharges all of his skills, so I personally like using Council of 10. I might just use this for the moment, but I'm going to have a separate short video later on, the next week or so, whenever I can, on my full build with 90 SC or however many, so hopefully that'll be good. Now the arc, I'm already getting tired of talking this much. Yeah, all units could use Council 10, but I just think Nero in particular could work a bit better with it. Main reason being is because he needs to use a lot of skill 1 and skill 2, and he already has a lot of damage, so he doesn't need the damage as much as like a Virgil does. Virgil needs damage so much he can't really use Council of 10, so that's why I'd recommend it a bit more for Nero than a normal unit. The arc, I don't think this arc is worth chasing, definitely not, but I think it's still a decent arc. The only reason I think it's good is because of this skill right here. It's pretty good for 3SC. I think it's really good. Arcade reward giving another revive is very good for arena. That's really it. That's the only value I see in this arc. I don't see any other value. So if you do get it, then it's good to have, because there are some decent things here, but nothing crazy that I would think that's worth chasing for. So for that reason, I'm personally just going to be doing daily paid pulls for the moment, and tickets, and just leave it there. If I don't get the arc, then it is what it is, but if I do, then it's great, because I would still like to have it, but it's nothing crazy. So this is what I think of part 2. Now there's still part 1 here. Which would I recommend to pull on? Well, I can say this for sure, that Virgil is definitely the better unit to get for pretty much everyone. Nero isn't bad, it's just I think Virgil being a non-attribute DPS unit is quite rare to begin with, so that's already valuable. And he does pretty fast hits, has good hit counts, which is quite rare too. Gives him better DPS. And he has Doppelganger, giving him double hits as a single wield DPS unit. I just think Virgil's the more worth unit in this collab. And you've also got to remember there are the rerun units and stuff, but I've mostly talked about that in part 1 stream that I did. So V and Devil May Cry Mobile Office Arc are the two things that are the most valuable here. Those are probably the most valuable in this collab. And then you've got Virgil too. Those are the top 3 things in this collab, I would say. Yeah, well, in most situations you're going to be using manual anyways. For auto, yes, shift balance auto multiplayer, you could do that if you're lazy and you're bored, which most people probably are by now. And for arena, Virgil isn't the best, but he's still pretty good, he's pretty fun in arena. You can't do auto with him in arena though. His skill 2 is pretty strong, I like it. And I think that's it. Personally, for me, I'm going to be testing out Nero quite a lot more over the next week or so, and trying to build him and come up with a few teams and just try him out a little bit more, because I think he's interesting. He's not bad like a Shift Milim. Shift Milim was just bad because her skill 3 was just terrible, and she just didn't do that much damage and was just a bit lackluster and everywhere, but Nero isn't like that. He has the potential to have some good damage. I can see it there. It's just his skill 3 is just kind of a bit disappointing, in my opinion. If he had a faster skill 3, it could have been even better. And if his trait 1 was a bit more reliable, then it could have been even better too, but I still think it's going to be fun. And we haven't had a 5 physical DPS in ages, so that's why I think it's going to be pretty good. But you've also got to remember there might be DOH collab, well, DOH units coming around anytime soon. But since collabs don't usually get reruns, or at least not for a long time, thanks for the sub, I still love these animations. Since they don't get reruns for a long time, or not ever, then I highly recommend to at least try to pull for some of this stuff. At least for Virgil. Because Virgil, you don't really want to miss him because he's just so good. And yeah, if you know that it's been about over a year since the Devil May Cry 5 collab, then you know that collabs are pretty valuable. Even if they're not the best things in the game, they're still quite valuable to have because they might not come back ever. And there could be a unit in the future that could benefit from some of these arcs, you know. So I always recommend pull at least a little bit on these collabs, but for this one in particular, part 1, pull a bit more on this banner. If you get Virgil, stop pulling on part 1 and either save, or pull on part 2 if you feel like it, or try and get V and Devil May Cry Mobile Office Arc. It's up to you after that, really. But that's just what I think. I've done enough talking now. I don't think I can talk anymore. I've been talking for way too long. Just to give everyone some info of what's coming up. In a week from now, there's going to be a time trial event. I haven't looked too much into that. There was a news notice here that says that they have excluded, they've changing the things for rankings, exclusion from rankings, so people like Tweaks are probably going to be able to rank at these time trial events now, and older people are probably going to be able to rank in these time trial events now. I don't know if I can. I should be able to, because I haven't done anything wrong in this game ever, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to rank, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to cover anything for the time trial. We'll see how it is. Maze is still not up yet, which is unfortunate, but I think the next unit's going to be 2 weeks from now. We'll see what it is, and I'll try and do some videos in between then. And I think that's it. I think in 2 weeks from now I would have started uni again, so there probably won't be as many videos after 2 weeks or so, so we'll see how things go, but I will try to be here for the next unit for a stream like normal. But I think I'll have to check my schedule because I might be busy on that Thursday, so I might need to change the time of when it is, but we'll see when it comes down to it. Well, he does get interrupted, but with Nero and Virgil, their castable skills, so Nero's Devil Trigger skill, Demon Form skill, doesn't really have any cast time. The same with Virgil's Doppelganger skill, it doesn't really have any cast time, so they can just instantly cast it. They don't have to really worry about getting hit. But they do get no immune to interruption, can't be interrupted by most attacks when you have the Devil Trigger buff. It's the same with Virgil, but Virgil needs to have the buff from using a special. I just checked that. So when using a special, he gets the SDT buff, and his trait can't be interrupted by most attacks. You have to have the SDT buff active for that to activate. Basically, they're pretty similar units, which does make sense because Virgil is Nero's dad. If you didn't know, it's interesting. But yeah, they're kind of similar, but I think Nero's more similar to Dante. So yeah, I think that's everything. Everything I'm going to mention. 2 hours, 40 minutes. We've been here for. I've done enough talking. I'll see you in the next one. Next one's going to be in 2 weeks from now for the next unit. I have no idea who's going to be, but we'll see in 2 weeks from now. V and Virgil are the same person, but it makes sense that they want it to be not a shift unit, I guess. Because then, I don't know why, but it's probably not close enough to be considered a shift. But I'll see you in the next one. This stream will be uploaded as a video as soon as I press this end stream button. I'll add this timestamps later on. It takes a little bit of time because I got to go through the whole thing and check when I'm talking about certain things, but I think they're pretty important. I'll see you in 2 weeks from now for the next stream. Hopefully, we'll see who it is by then. Hopefully everyone enjoys this collab. I personally like this collab. It's a pretty good collab. One of the best collabs in this game. Bye.